Hello everyone and welcome to another Facebook Live party. I am your host, Olivia Seline, and I am so excited to share with you on this topic of the inner bitch tonight. Almost putting our inner good girl, okay? I say nice girl, but I'm like, well, I'm still nice, right? But putting your inner good girl to bed a little bit, just a little bit sometimes, right? And allowing this inner bitch, this inner wild woman, this inner version of you, that darker piece of you, to sometimes come in and call the shots. So I'm really excited to talk about this conversation tonight. I'm going to be totally transparent with you. This is a very, I'm sweaty thinking about this topic right now. Because I'm going to share a really vulnerable story with you that I have not shared super publicly yet. And I hope that it is something that inspires you and gives you permission, as always, with all of my live videos. But I just want to say in advance that, I'm already a little nervous to share this with you tonight, because it's just something that is not necessarily easy to talk about, but I really do believe that it needs to be heard. And it is a topic that we will be digging into more inside of Becoming Sovereign, which starts next Monday. Early bird pricing ends tonight at midnight, so make sure... actually that's a lie, because I said 24 hours this morning, so I guess I'm technically honoring it till first thing in the morning. But make sure you lock in your spot before price goes up by $100 tomorrow. So hello everyone. I'm so excited to share with you guys tonight. Thank you for hopping on live with me. Please say hello below. I'm loving that Hannah is here, and Kelly is here, and Mariah is here, and Sydney is here. Katie is here. Hello. Hi Trish. So good to see you. Beautiful ladies. Hello Jill. Hello Michelle. Okay, so I want to talk tonight. My hands and my palms are sweaty. You always know it's going to be good when my palms are sweaty. Hi, Katie. Welcome. So if you are watching live with me, please say hello below. Give me an emoji about how you are feeling about this topic. Why are you here? What about this topic got you excited? I'm so nervous to get started, but I'm so excited. Hi, Nicole. Hello. Give me an emoji below of how you are feeling about this topic. I am going to share this over inside my free group. If you're not part of Millennial Business Babes Unfiltered yet, you should be. It's going to be good. I freaking love this group. We've had so many good conversations around sex, relationships, business, all of the beautiful things, and they're just going to keep getting better and better and better. Oh, Carissa and Hannah. You guys, so it's called a grimacing face, right? This one? The grimacing face? Yeah, okay. I think that's what it's called. So I get it. I feel the same way about to share it with you. Hi, Crystal. Welcome. Katie feels a little nervous, a little sweaty. Okay, I dig it. And we're live. Jill loves this topic. I know, Jill, you and I have chatted about this for sure. I'm excited to share it with you. Queen, I dig it, queen. That, you guys, Becoming Sovereign really is all about that. Let's honor the F out of your inner queen. Let's let her rule the show. And sometimes the bitch has to be queen. I'm just gonna say it, okay? So, I just shared this over in my free group, so let's get started. Let's kick off right now. So, here's a story I'm gonna share with you. I have been through quite the transformation. I mean, as all of us are, right? We're constantly evolving, shifting, growing, and expanding. And what's really crazy is that actually yesterday marks 4 years since I started my very first online business, and it has evolved and transformed. And I, as a human, I mean, from 23 to 27, I have definitely evolved, just as you guys have as well. Kelly feels a bomb. I'm excited. And there have been constant evolutions in all of this, not only in business, in my marriage, and in the relationships in my life. And there have been many relationships that have not continued from when I very first started business to where I am now. Many relationships that I have had to say goodbye to, I have had to grieve the loss of, I have had to watch them fall apart. I have had to watch myself make tough decisions of having to close the chapter on certain relationships that unfortunately were no longer an equal exchange of energy and value, that were no longer filling both of us up and truly making both of us better. And my heart has hurt a lot in this, especially with one of the more recent ones as well. My heart hurt because I don't love these people any less when I have had to say goodbye to them. But I noticed that my inner good girl, my inner nice girl, was trying to be everything for everyone. I was trying to make everybody happy and be everyone's go-to source of shoulder to cry on, of the person they can vent to, of the person they can cry to, of the person that's there to pick them up when they're down. And while I love that that is such a beautiful quality that I have, it makes me an incredible coach. I'm able to feel so deeply for so many people on so many levels, but there's only so much of me to go around, right? There's only so much of my energy, of my space, of my container as a human to go around. That is why I only work with a small handful of clients. I have a small handful of girlfriends. I have my spouse, obviously. When I work with women in my programs, like, I'm very specific about the container that I'm in with you, and I'm making sure I can give you my best, and I don't launch in seasons where I can't give you my all. But I've had to say goodbye to certain relationships that, unfortunately, they have transitioned out of what they once were, of us building each other up, and something felt off, and I felt this inner nudge of, this doesn't feel good anymore, and trying to make it feel better. There's only so much that I can do. There's only so much that you can do as a human in certain relationships. You can only control how you show up, and you can only control your energy and what you're putting into it and what you're giving. And unfortunately, at the end of the day, sometimes certain relationships, they're no longer serving the both of your greatest good. And when you're feeling that nudge that you need to close the door, you need to walk away from a relationship that is no longer serving both of you, it's one of the hardest decisions you're ever going to have to make. Right? Can anyone relate? I know you guys are loving this and you're relating to feeling like you are the people pleaser, you are the good girl that holds everyone together. But have you ever experienced certain relationships in your life? I mean, we have friends that we've been friends with since we were kids, or since high school or college, or, all of these different relationships. You've got all these relationships you've built in network marketing, that you've built in other businesses. And eventually there's only so much that you can handle. Right? There's only so many relationships that you can show up fully for that truly fill you up. The kinds of relationships that you feel like a better human because you know this person, and they feel like a better person because they know you. And it doesn't serve anybody to fake it, right? It doesn't serve anybody to fake this. It serves the both of you to know that sometimes relationships are only for a season, or they're only for, everything is cyclical. Everything has a beginning, everything has an end. And, unfortunately, relationships sometimes fall into that. And it kills me. It kills me. It was one of the most difficult decisions I've ever had to make, over and over and over again with different relationships, and it never gets easier. But what I noticed is this, and I'm going to read these comments in a second, okay? And I'm going to give you guys some journaling, some questions to work through this on, and some ways to use kind of some anger in these situations. But you have this energy bubble, right? And I've talked about this many times before, so stick with me. But if you're new here, I talk about this energy bubble. And inside, you picture, it's like 4 feet out on every side, and you picture inside this like opalescent, or maybe yours is pink or blue or green or purple or glitter or whatever it might be. And it's this beautiful, potent energy inside of this container. It's your sacred container. It is your energy bubble. And what happens is when you hold on to relationships that are no longer serving the both of you, you love each other to pieces. You freaking love the shit out of this person. Hi, Raleigh, so good to see you. You love this person so much, and so you feel like, okay, well, it's okay. Like when they call, even though it causes me anxiety, or it turns into a bitch fest, or this isn't always the exact relationship I'm talking about, but for you, maybe it's that turns into a bitch fest, or you're constantly the one that they go to. They constantly call you and pour everything out, and then there's nothing coming back. They're the type of people that unfortunately maybe just call you and you're their go-to, and you're not feeling filled back up. And so it's not serving you, and it's not serving them at the end of the day, right? So what's happening is in these moments, you're like, oh, it's okay, it's just an hour of my day, right? It's just an hour of my day, or it's just an hour, or it's just a quick message, or, maybe you have people coming to you that aren't paying you, and they're constantly asking you questions, and you're like, it's okay, it's just a quick message, okay. All right, it's a little bit, and you're starting to it's starting to wear on you, right? Because what's happening is this bubble, right, has these little teeny tiny pinpricks inside of it. It's like the teeniest, tiniest little pinprick of poking your energy bubble. And what's happening over time is you start to deplete and deflate, and all of a sudden the energy that's inside of the bubble that once was magic and power and potent and all these beautiful things has drained itself, and there's nothing left for you to give. You're noticing that you're having strain in your marriage, you're having strain in your business, you're having strain with your clients, you're having strain in other friendships, because what's happening is you're giving all of your energy to the pinpricks, to these people that you love and you want the best for them and you want to believe in them. You believe in their possibility, their potential more than they do. You're like, girlfriend, you got this. It's okay. It's going to get better. I promise you that. And you're like building this person up over and over and over again, but they're not hearing it. And so what's happening is you're giving, and you're starting to become depleted. Nothing's coming back, right? It's like this one way, and all of a sudden there's nothing left. And you're wondering why you're not making money in your business. And you're wondering why clients aren't knocking on your door. And you're wondering why you're having strain in your marriage. And you're having a hard time being creative on social media. And you're not coming up with your next idea. Because what's happening is all of the energy is going to these pinpricks. These people that you love, but you're not getting built back up at the same time. Does that make sense? So what really for me I noticed was that when I walked away, when I released someone who I love like family. I love these people like family. But when I released, I was able to create space, patch back up these pricks, and expand and step into a next level of myself. Knowing that truly at the end of the day, I had to do not only what was best for me, but this was also what was best for her. I truly believe that, even if she doesn't see it yet. I did it from the most biggest, boldest space of love in my heart for this human being, for every human being I've had to do this with, and I cried through it, and I was angry through it because I didn't want to have to let go, because I didn't understand why I had to let go at the time. I was like, no, I got it. Like, I can handle it. But every time I met with my coach and every time I talked to my husband, it was just like, you're not handling it. You're falling apart. And it's not serving you, and it's not serving her, and it's not serving the greater good. It's not serving the other people in your life. And so I had to close a chapter and I had to move forward. Are you guys relating to this? Give me some love if you're relating to this. Hello, Lindsay. Hello, Jennifer. Hello. So I had to stand for myself at the end of the day. Hi, Joanna. Welcome. I had to stand for myself. I had to say, if I don't stand for me, who will? And my inner good girl was like, no. You stand for everybody, Olivia. You stand for everybody. Like, you're this beacon of light, and you need to stand for everybody. You need to be there for everyone all of the time. But I had to say, if I'm not standing for me, then who will? And if I'm not standing for me, I can't give to the people in my life that are relying on me, because I don't have anything left to give, right? So there was this feeling for a moment, though. It wasn't like smooth sailing, you guys. There were so many tears through this process. And what I want to talk to you about tonight is this idea of this inner bitch. Because this inner good girl in me, this inner people pleaser, was like, you got this. But my inner bitch was angry. I was so sick and tired of being depleted. I was so sick and tired of being emotionally exhausted, of feeling like just this, I couldn't handle it all anymore, but I didn't want to admit it. So it was causing anger and resentment that I was putting on myself build up inside of me. And what my coach taught me is that anger, I can alchemize it. I can transform it. I can mix it and turn it into this transformative and potent energy that actually was able to amplify my business, amplify my marriage, amplify my life, amplify me, because there was more of me and it was more potent, and therefore I was holding space in this bubble again and patching up these pinpricks, and I was able to show up stronger because I let my inner, I don't want to say mean girl, but I guess mean girl, not in mean girl in a way of like, Mean Girls, the movie, by any means, but like mean girl in the fact of like, maybe I'm going to say bold, okay? I'm going to say bold girl. My inner bold boss say, you know what? No, I'm going to stand up for myself in this situation. I'm going to stand in my power, and I'm going to say I'm standing for me, because if I don't, who will, right? So this inner rage that I was having, this resentment and this anger and this frustration over time that was building because I was fighting it, right? What we resist persists. What we resist continues to just build inside of us. And I had to allow it to work its way out of me. I had temper tantrums. I cried. It was messy. It was this horrible season, but I made it through on the other side, and now I know it was for a reason. It wasn't fun in the midst of it. There were difficult conversations that had to be had. There were me feeling like I was letting everyone else down. There was me feeling like I was going to crush this person. There was me feeling like, but I don't want to hurt her. There was me feeling like, but I don't want to be a bitch, because no, like I don't want, what if she thinks this, or what if she thinks this, and all of these things. But I had to say, no, like I need to work through this, and this is going to be messy. But if I keep holding this in, resentment and anger and frustration are going to grow, and the pinpricks are just going to keep deflating my energy, and I'm not going to be able to live the best life that I'm here to live. I'm not going to be able to serve in the way that I feel called to serve, right? So it's so freaking important that I want to ask you this. First I want to say, when you are being a bitch, when you are allowing that bold boss inside of you to say, nope, we don't stand for this right now, you are standing in ownership of you. You are standing and stepping into sovereignty and taking full ownership of who you are, right? And saying, I'm not going to stand for this. I'm going to stand up for myself. I'm not going to apologize for who I'm becoming. I'm not going to apologize for where I'm feeling called or how I'm feeling in general. I'm standing in this right now. I'm moving forward in this. That is why becoming sovereign, you guys, is so important. That is why I created this program. This was one of the catalysts for me to create this program for you and walk you through, because we can't do it anymore. We can't let the inner good girl run the show all of the time, because she's not getting anywhere. She's not getting any traction. She's not changing the world because there's none of her left. Because she's too focused on everybody else, that who's focused on her. I know for me to be the best me that I can be to serve you, you know what? I have to stand for myself. I have to have hard conversations. I have to make difficult decisions. I have to walk away from what no longer serves me sometimes. And it sucks. It sucks sometimes. It makes me want to cry sometimes. It makes me angry sometimes. But I have to do that in order to show up fully for you. Because if I don't, then there's nothing left. And I can't do the work that I've been called to do. So I'm going to give you a question in a second, but I want to read these comments. I'm going to give you some questions to journal through on this. I love that you guys are loving this. It's making me so happy. Okay, let's see. Mariah says, I'm too nice. I need to let my inner bold girl show more. I'm too much of a people pleaser. Exactly. Like, what if you were allowed to disappoint people? Have you ever asked yourself that question? What if I'm allowed to disappoint people? What if you were allowed to let people down? What if you didn't have to hold it all together all the time and be this perfect person that everyone thinks you are, that everyone thinks you to be? That's exhausting, to have to almost keep on this face all of the time, right? What if you were allowed to express all of you, the good girl and the inner bitch, the good girl and the bold, the soft and the gentle and the bold and the fierce and the strong? What if you were able to express it all? And that's what we're going to work through in becoming sovereign, because it's needed. You cannot serve in the way that you've been called if you don't step up and are in full ownership of every single piece of you. The soft and the gentle, the bold and the fierce, the strong and the capable, but the one who cries sometimes, the one who breaks down sometimes, the emotional hot mess sometimes. All of these beautiful pieces of you are you. And you have to own each and every one of them, and you don't have to apologize for them. You don't have to justify them or explain them. You don't owe anybody any kind of explanation for you choosing you at the end of the day. Just as these people that I have had to do this with, these friendships that I have had to dissolve, I don't owe them an explanation, but they don't owe me an explanation. If someone says, I don't want to join your Becoming Sovereign program, you don't owe me a reason of why you're not going to join. You don't owe me any kind of justification. I honor you doing what's best for you, just as I would expect you to honor me doing what's best for me. If I say to a client, which I've had to do recently, which has been very hard, of saying, we need to go back to boundaries here. I'm really going to ask you, I love hearing from you, but I'm going to ask you to really honor my time and honor your time, and switch a couple things around here, the way that we're communicating. And it's not going to only serve me and my schedule, but it's also going to serve you and your schedule in the long run. Are those conversations fun to have? No, but it allows me to step up in power, and it allows her and gives her permission to do the exact same thing. People aren't going to be able to step into their full sovereignty. They're not going to be able to step into their full power and ownership if you're not doing it first. Your clients are looking to you as the example. And your friends are looking to you as the example. If you're getting walked all over, you're giving other women the permission to get walked all over. If you're stepping up as queen and you're owning it, you're owning everything, then you're giving other people permission to do the same. Do you see what I'm saying? Hello everyone just joining. It's so good to see you guys. So good. Hannah says, that is why a blissful tribe is so important. Amen. Michelle said my video was cutting out. Can you guys hear me? Uh-oh. It might have just been your internet, girlfriend. Let's see. Hannah says, yes, shit, yes. When someone can't celebrate you and wants to stay stuck and miserable, gosh, it's so painful. It is. It really, really is. Hi, Angela. So good to see you live. So fun to have you live. Let's see. Hannah says, I'm all about saying yes and continuing to try, but sometimes you can't try anymore because the other person will never budge. Exactly. It's the same thing I've been talking about over in my free group about sex, right? Like in a marriage, in a relationship, you can only control you. And so what's hard is that you want to change this person, or you want to help them, and you want to see the potential and have them rise to it, and you want to be all in together at the same time, but you can't control the other person. You can only control you. They can't control you, you can't control them. All we are is an ownership of ourselves, right? Mariah says, you're speaking to my soul right now. I love that so much. I'm so happy that you're here. Hi, Stasia. It's so painful, it's hard and uncomfortable when it doesn't feel good for a long time. It's done. Exactly. There's only so much, right? You can't keep letting that pinprick just like pull all of the life out of you. Your power and your energy are too powerful and too potent and too meaningful to let that continue to happen, right? Carissa, I've never had the guts to say goodbye before they finally said goodbye to me. Ones I look back on and I tell myself I should have said goodbye sooner. 100%. And what's hard is that sometimes if you're feeling this nudge, like you need to say goodbye or you need to walk away or whatever's happening there, and you're feeling this feeling in your soul that like you just can't do it anymore, you've given it all you've got, you've laid everything on the table, and you just have to stand for yourself. Sometimes the universe will kind of push everything together for you to almost have to have like some catastrophic thing happen where it can't be like a loving conversation of I've got to do this and I'm hoping that this is what it means for us and I wish you the best and I love you so much, but I just have to walk away for a little bit right now. I need to close some chapters right now and move forward in XYZ. Then there might be some catastrophe that happens or some like fallout that happens because you need that to walk away or to fall away in order for you to be potent and powerful and open and clear for what's next for you. Does that make sense? So if you listen to those nudges, then you avoid those catastrophes. You avoid those fallouts where there is no even second chance someday. There's no coming back to it because it's like a blowout of an event. Have you ever had that happen with a friend? Like, God, there's friends in like from middle school, I remember, of just like it being this blowout of a thing that happens between us. And unfortunately, there's a lot of pain there. There's a lot of pain there. And when I did this back a few months ago with a very, very, very dear friend that I considered family, I truly believe that it was a hard experience, but at the same time, I knew that it was best for me and best for her in the long run. And so there's no dissonance there. There's no like leftover pain that I've had to heal from. It's more so just been loving the person from afar and knowing that we're just not meant to be in each other's lives right now, and I fully respect that, right? Are you guys, does that make sense? Am I explaining that right? Katie says, I end up looking back and miss the person for who I remember them to be, then I get hurt and mourn it all over again. Yeah, 100%. And that does kill me. And so sometimes I've had to unfollow on social media. I've had to write letters and just kind of release it and say goodbye and forgive myself for whatever I'm still holding on to from that and heal from it. And it's hard and it's painful, but it's so needed. It's so needed. And knowing that you can choose to go back there or you can choose to stay moving forward. Right? Sometimes we do have to heal that piece of us still. We have to let go of it. We have to release it. We have to do work there. But sometimes it really is just like leaving it in the past and then moving forward and truly closing down that chapter so that you can step fully into the next one, right? So here's the thing. If you are feeling this like any kind of anger or resentment or hurt or any kind of these like dark emotions that we look at, right? We look at these certain emotions as dark, as off limits, as bad, as icky, as negative, but they're not. They're not. They are part of your human experience, which I've talked about a million times, but I want to ask you right now, what do you feel like you're holding in right now? What do you feel like you're holding in? That if you were to express this feeling, this emotion, this desire, that there would be negative backlash, that there would be negative feedback on you because you expressed it. Does anyone feel comfortable enough to share? I'd be super curious to hear these. Mariah says, it's so painful to let someone so close go, but you know in your heart when to walk away. I unfortunately had to do it this year. It's so weird. All this has had great timing. It's been hard for me on so many days. Thank you for being here and doing these videos. 100%. I am here for you, girlfriend. I get it. I have cried many, many, many tears over these moments in my life. But at the end of the day, I also know it's all falling away for not only my greater good, but theirs as well. I truly believe that when we honor what our intuition is telling us, it's not just about you, although you're standing for yourself, but at the end of the day, it's also for their greater good. Because here's the thing, like, there comes a time when certain relationships, you've taught each other everything that you're meant to teach each other. Our relationships are our greatest spiritual assignment, right? They're put in our life for a reason. We can teach them, we can help them grow, they teach us how to grow. It's like this equal exchange. And eventually, we've kind of done our part. It's like when you finish the 4th grade, you have to go to the 5th grade. Well, some relationships, yes, stay with you through all of it, but some of the relationships are cyclical, and one has to end in order for you to start a new one. Right? At the end of the day. Crystal says, say that one more time. Okay, let me pull it up again. What do you feel like right now you're holding in? That if you were to express it, you would receive negative backlash. You would receive some sort of negative feedback. Those darker parts of you. Right? Those feelings like, if I shared this, like, I don't know what would happen. I don't know what would happen. Because that darkness in you guys is some of your most healing messengers. Anger. Anger is there to teach us. Anger can be alchemized into something greater. It can be alchemized into potent, powerful energy. Sadness can be there to teach us. There can be meaning there. Resentment sometimes is just showing you a different part of yourself that you need to work through and heal from in order to release it. Right? Sometimes jealousy, or I'm trying to think, I should have pulled out my emotions wheel. I have an emotions wheel that I'm obsessed with. But any kind of negative feeling or negative or deep, dark part of us is there for a reason. And we need to take ownership of all of it and truly to step into our sovereignty, right? To step into our power, to step into us taking back reign of ourselves and of our life and taking back the control and the power. When we're causing and staying in resentment and anger, we're giving our power away, right? So how can you take your power back and say, I'm going to own this anger, I'm going to own this resentment or this sadness, I'm not going to let it be, I'm not going to let it rule me, I'm going to rule it. What is this trying to teach me? What is this trying to tell me? What is my inner bitch wanting to come out and say? If she didn't have a filter, what is my inner bitch trying to say? Give yourself permission and space to explore yourself in this way, right? Like, what do you need to not filter about yourself? Where do you need to give yourself radical permission to explore the deepest, darkest depths of you? And know that there's no judgment there. Know that there isn't any negative feedback there. Know that there isn't any backlash there. And if there is, we'll work through it. But you're safe here. You are safe in every single piece of you, even the dark pieces of you. I promise you that. And we're going to walk through it together in becoming sovereign. I'm literally going to link arms with you, and we're going to walk through it so that we can own it, so that we can move forward and seal up these energy leaks, right? Okay, let me read these comments. Let's see. Crystal says, oh gosh, exactly what I'm going through right now, but I've started just to fully take off the mask with my sobriety journey and the toxic relationship I was in. I love you so much. I know you are joining us inside of Becoming Sovereign, and I'm so excited to be in that with you and walk through that with you. I'm just so proud of you. I know this is something you've been working on, and I honor that in you. I celebrate that in you 100%. Lindsay says, just being fully me and wondering what's too much to share and constantly censoring myself. Oof, girlfriend, I know you just signed up. I'm about to respond to your message right before I hopped on here. And we're going to work through that. There is no censor. There is no filter here. Nope. Let's see. Try to figure out how the audience will receive it, to be okay posting something or not. I can share so well with my friends and loved ones, but I'm so hesitant to unapologetically post online. I feel like the photo and caption has to be perfect for me to share something. Oof, girl, we are going to work through that. I cannot wait to work through that. So what if you gave yourself permission here to be fully seen, to be heard, to be experienced, to be fully expressed? Give yourself that permission. Remind yourself you are safe here. You are safe here. You are safe here. These are all beautiful pieces of you, 100%. Heidi, can you give me the link? The link is inside of the description of this video, but I will definitely give it to you after as well, or if someone wants to post it. Let's see. Crystal, just started to just fully be who I am regardless of the mess. I've realized I don't have to hide those parts of myself to help others. Exactly. People relate to the process. They don't relate to the perfection. People relate to you. Now, here's the thing. We teach on what we know, but almost what we've embodied. Not just what we know, not what we've read, not what we've heard someone say on a live video, but what we've truly embodied. I couldn't teach you how to walk away from a relationship until I had done it over and over again. And I truly had, I don't want to say mastered it because we're all learning and growing and evolving, but I have a process for it. I will literally teach you how to walk away from certain relationships if that's what you feel called to do, in your own way, in a way that serves you and serves them, in a way that allows you to honor this piece of you, honor this desire, honor this nudge, but also love the other person, right? I truly believe, like, on my end, I have nothing but love for these people I have had to have these conversations with. I have nothing but love for them, and I truly want the best for them in every single way. And I was able to have that conversation from a place of love, not from a place of anger and resentment. Like, I was able to work through that, alchemize it into a different energy, into a more potent energy, and then share from a place of love and healing on the other side. Does that make sense? Let's see. Crystal, I pretty much silently have the middle finger up with love because I don't care anymore. Exactly. Like, I love you. And here's the thing, like, you can be this inner bitch. You can have this boldness to you, this I don't take any shit. A sovereign woman truly doesn't apologize for it. She doesn't take anyone else's shit. She stands for herself, and she knows that that is where she is the most potent and the most powerful and the most impactful. Because then she's giving permission to do this for other people to do the same. These friends that I have had to have this conversation with, I had this conversation with them, and they have full rights to have the conversation with me or with someone else. Like, I fully honor and see every piece of them and love them for it. How they perceive that is up to them. That's not up to me. Other people's perception is not our responsibility. Can I get an amen? Like, I can only control how I come out about it. And they can twist it and turn it in their heads into anything they want it to be, but you don't have to take that on. And when you have this energy bubble, when there's no pinpricks in it, when everything is potent and it's sealed off, and you have these boundaries, which we're going to talk about in the program, you guys, that it just deflects right back. You don't have to take it on. It is not your job to make everybody happy. If you're trying to make everybody happy, or if you're standing for everyone, you're not standing for anything at the end of the day, right? Crystal says she's coming out. Girl, I'm ready. I see her. I honor her. I celebrate her. 100%. Kendra, just hopped on and I'm going to have to go back and watch from the beginning. Hell yes. Amen, amen. Thank you, Taylor, so much for sharing the link. Carissa says family is one you don't walk away from. But sometimes I feel guilty for wanting to because it's toxic, and to this day I'm not close but I feel guilty for walking away, but I know it's necessary. Here's the thing. You absolutely can walk away from any relationship that is no longer serving you. Now, again, you can love from afar. You can love people. You can want the best for them. You can celebrate them. You can honor them. You can want, like, the best for them, but almost like a 10-foot pole. Like, not being in it, being on the outside of it, but standing for yourself. Are you hearing me correctly on that? So, family is a tough one. I get it. But you also don't owe them any sort of explanation either at the end of the day. And hopefully it would start a conversation. I would hope that it would be that if they wanted to be in your life, you could have a real, loving, honest conversation about what would need to shift on both of your ends in order for that to happen. And sometimes I've done that. You know, I've had conversations where I've been like, I do want to stay in each other's lives. I think that we can really get back to where we were. And you're feeling this. This is all intuitive. This is all about listening into and trusting yourself. But then having this conversation of, if that was to happen, here's what I would really love to see shift for us so that we can make the most out of this relationship that we have. So we can show up fully for each other. We can be fully alive in all that we are. We can honor it in each other, and we can grow together. Right? So it kind of can go both ways. But I would work through the guilt of it, which we can do inside Becoming Sovereign. But I would just start journaling about it. And how can you release that guilt? How can you know that at the end of the day you are safe and you are supported, you are guided, and you are divinely held, and you don't have to apologize for feeling that way. You don't have to explain why you feel that way, right? Let me see what you just said, Carissa. I wish I knew the right words to talk to them about it, but I feel like our wavelengths are totally opposite as far as that conversation can go. And so maybe it's just a season. Maybe it's just saying goodbye for a season. I don't know if there are people you see every day. That makes it a little bit trickier. But I definitely think that it's possible to keep your energy bubble strong. And even if they talk to you, or even if you have a conversation, or even if something happens or there's an opinion shared or something tries to start, you can kind of, it'll bounce off of you and go back to them, and you can walk away from it, right? So they're like, one of my favorite things to say that I learned from my friend's pastor is that he said, you know, if someone tells you their opinion and you don't want to hear it, maybe you didn't ask for it, and they share with you their opinion, you don't have to fight them on it. You don't have to get on the same wavelength with them. You can simply say, oh, that's interesting. If I were you, I would probably feel the same way. If I was you, I'd probably think the same thing. And that's it. Like, what are they going to say to that? Like, you don't owe you don't owe them a discussion on it, right? There's certain things that my parents don't agree with that I talk about. There's certain things that maybe they're not on the same wavelength with me on, with some beliefs and some different things that I practice and that I teach, but I don't owe them an explanation on it. I can stand for myself, and I can simply just say, like, I completely honor and respect you. I completely honor and respect you and your beliefs, and if I was you, I'd probably believe the same thing. But this is me, and that's okay. And we can love each other. We can meet each other here. We can love each other close together. For you, maybe, Carissa, it's far apart, and you can still support them, right? Taylor says, yes, I think sometimes we have to protect ourselves, and maybe a friendship's not the best for you at this point in your life, but it doesn't mean it's over forever. Life has so many phases. Exactly. That's why if you walk away in a way that is healing, in a way that is empowering, in a way that is truly honoring both of you, then yes, maybe one day that you come back together. And I specifically said that in this last time I had this conversation, and I was like, I have no idea what life holds for both of us. And if our paths cross again one day, like, would love that. Would love to reevaluate then, but in this season, like, I just don't think it's serving either of us the way that we both deserve. So, you guys, in this sovereign season, okay, in this sovereign season, this ownership, this wholeness, this full embodiment of all that you are, okay, even those darker parts, really owning those pieces, what do you need to be in ownership of moving forward? Where in your life or your business do you need to stand up for yourself? Where in your life or your business do you need to stand up for yourself and stop trying to stand for everybody else? And take full ownership of the container that you are, the vessel that you are, and start sealing up some of these energy leaks that are happening. And energy leaks can be anything. This can be maybe people are taking advantage of your time, people are blowing up your inbox, certain friendships are no longer serving you, you and your spouse keep butting heads in the exact same area and really need to sit down and have an honest conversation. Maybe certain people on your social media you need to delete or block or unfollow because you're caught up in comparison, so your energy is being leaked that way. Where in your life do you need to step up and take some ownership? Where do you need to stand up for yourself? Where are you allowing your energy bubble to be taken from, to be depleted from? Where are you allowing, what are you allowing to seep into your energy bubble that you are in control of? What tough conversations do you need to have? What tough decisions do you need to make right now? How can you take your power back? How can you take your power back? It's not just about your inner good girl. The inner bitch has to rule the show sometimes. A bitch is powerful. She stands for herself. She doesn't apologize. She doesn't apologize. She easily makes the best decisions for herself, knowing that if it's serving her highest self, she's able to serve the world bigger and bolder, make a bigger impact, and she's able to show up stronger for those in her life. The inner good girl still does some great things. She's still amazing in certain seasons, okay? She's needed. She's a beautiful piece of you. But sometimes she's got to go to bed or she's got to go take a coffee break really quick while the inner bitch steps up and says, no, we don't stand for this. We don't play these games around here. Do you know something else that used to be an energy leak for me? I used to coach the shit out of people for free in my inbox, which I love coaching. I love doing it. But you know what happened over time? was that then I was making that okay, because people don't know. You teach people how to treat you at the end of the day, right? People don't know what's not okay unless you tell them what's not okay. And so what happened was a simple question here and there, I'm like, okay, cool. But it started being like constant question after question after question after question after question. We were now in a coaching relationship, and while I love them, and while I would love to serve the entire world for free and coach everyone for free all of the time, I am one human being. One human being. And so what was happening was I had to figure out, what can I do here to seal these up? So I started a podcast. 2 episodes every week. I go live on Facebook when I get common questions. I then eventually will put those on YouTube so that they can live on forever, because Facebook likes to delete videos these days, so this might go away. Who knows? Beware. Watch the replay ASAP if you need it. I started to see, like, where can I seal up these energy leaks? And then I created coaching consultations where I get on the phone with people for an hour to coach them on whatever topic they want to dig into, so that they can get a little bit of what it would be like in a coaching relationship, walk away with some kind of breakthrough, and then they can decide from there if we are a good fit. And I said, okay, cool, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to set this boundary so that I can seal up these leaks and my energy can be more potent and powerful again. And the resentment and the anger no longer lives. They're quieted down. I have healed those pieces of me in this area after I realized, what is this trying to tell me? If I allowed this to be fully expressed, what would need to shift? And I stepped into that. And so now when this happens, when I notice this kind of creeping in, I can say, hello, Corlin. Hello, everyone. Just hopping on. So good to see you guys. I can say, my inner bitch will step in and she will say, whoa, we don't stand for this. Because we're standing for this. And that is transformation and breakthrough and impact. And these women that I'm serving over here need me. And so if I'm giving to everyone over here, then I'm not showing up strong enough over here. Right? The inner bitch is trying to protect this over here, and she's trying to protect me. And so I have to listen to her. She has to call the shots sometimes. She has to take reign sometimes so that she can step up as queen. She can own her queendom. You with me? So if this is you, if you are wanting to step into sovereignty, if you're wanting to step into this power, if you're wanting to let your inner bitch sometimes run the show and not feel guilty about it, not feel bad about it, not have to over-explain yourself or apologize for yourself all of the time, do these journaling questions that I gave you tonight. Figure out what you're blocking yourself from fully expressing, from fully experiencing, and then step up and join us in becoming sovereign, because we're going to dig into this even deeper for 14 days. You will have coaching, there will be 7 live trainings, there will be a Q&A. We will be all in this together. We will be owning these pieces of you. We will be stepping fully into this and allowing this version of you, this wholeness, this full embodiment of all that you are, step up and let her be guided in the decisions that you make in business, in life, in relationships, and all of these things, because a sovereign woman easily makes the decisions that are best for herself. She doesn't have to apologize for them. She doesn't have to second guess herself. She doesn't have to overthink it. She knows. So if you're feeling a nudge in any of this, if you are stepping into your sovereignty, you are saying yes to joining the Becoming Sovereign program, because you know that you need to trust your nudges, you need to trust your intuition, you need to step into this and stop allowing the people pleaser, the inner nice girl, the inner good girl be running the show, because you guys, there's only so much of her. She's exhausted. She needs some boundaries, she needs some wholeness, she needs some love, and we have to step up for her, right? So the inner bitch, we calling on our girl over here, she's coming in and she's going to stand for herself again. She's going to stand up for you and all that you are, so you can show up stronger, more full, more on fire, and you're able to attract in all that you desire effortlessly, because you're strong and you're potent and you're powerful again, right? Can you guys feel that? Can you picture what that would feel like in your life if you could stand for yourself? If you could stand for every decision, every nudge that you're feeling, knowing that it truly is serving the highest good of everyone, knowing that you don't have to over-explain it or apologize for it. You just have to own it and to decide and to choose. Well, how different would life be? How different would business be? Right? So we begin on Monday, August 27th, okay? The price goes up in the morning, so if you need the link, it's in the bio, the description, of this video, or you can message me, Autumn, sign me up. Yes, girl, queen. Let me know. It goes up in the morning by $111, so definitely, if you want to join us, tonight is the night to do it. Obviously, the cart will still be open for the entire week this week, because we don't start till next Monday, but tonight I do have a payment plan for you, 2 payments of $111. Price goes up in the morning, and it will go to 2 payments of $167. So come join me. Come join the other women who have already signed up. We are almost half full. I'm so excited for this program, and I just can't wait. Like, the sovereignty, when you step into it fully, and when you truly become this sovereign woman, you guys, everything changes. The name of the game changes. I have watched my business explode. I have watched my impact explode. I have watched myself explode. And it's just been so crazy cool. And so, I had to create a program to help teach you exactly what I've walked through over the last 6 months. So I love you guys so much. I hope you loved this training. I from the feedback, I see that you are loving it already. And I hope that this gave you permission to truly own even those deepest, darkest parts of you, and truly know that you are safe there. You are safe there always, always, always. And sometimes it's going to lead you to difficult decisions, really hard choices that you're going to have to make, and it might crush you. And it might make you cry. It might be messy. It might be traumatizing. It might be screaming in the car. It might be punching pillows. It might be being all of these feelings at the same time. But there's freedom and there's healing on the other side of it. And it's all just pieces of you and fully embodying your human experience. And sometimes it's okay to be there, okay? So that's what I have for you guys tonight. I love you, I love you, I love you. I will see you guys back tomorrow for another Facebook Live. If you need anything, you know where to find me. And until next time, have a great night, guys. Bye.